So here we are then. It's Tuesday, the 10th of March, 2020. It's Boxcast. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube, on Spotify, on TuneIn, on Apple Podcasts, all these places that Joel has no idea exist.
No, straight over my head.
I didn't even know we were all in those places.
We are on all these places, wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure if you're watching us on YouTube, you click the little bell, which is the subscription and notification button, and you leave us a review as well. In today's episode, we're going to talk not a lot about Fury and Wilder. It'll probably touch on it at some point. But we've got new Boxcast merch.
Merch, baby.
Which I am loving. So we've got new T-shirts and new mugs. I mean, why shouldn't we? We've got about 40 followers.
Well, exactly.
That's the first thing you got to do is get some merch, right? So actually, it was pretty nice how it was delivered to me at the weekend. I woke up to get a shed delivered at like 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. And about 7:30, I get this text from Smudge going, check your doorstep. Which was a bit weird, I've got to admit. I thought it was like a mafia or something.
You thought it was a milkman?
Yes.
A horse's head or something.
So I went out there, there's this nice, pretty bag with a lovely T-shirt and a mug in. Walked up, showed my wife, I was really excited. She was like, oh, you guys are so cute.
We're so sad.
So we're going to give away a mug on today's episode. We've got a question. The way you're going to have to enter is really simple. It's by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. I'll tell you all about that a bit later on. So, where are we going to start this week?
Why aren't you wearing your Boxcast T-shirt, by the way?
I spilled, I didn't spill. Chocolate fell down onto the top of my Boxcast.
What, the other half of that fruit and nut bar over there?
Yeah, exactly. It was that. It was actually that fruit and nut bar. So yeah, that's the reason why. I put it on for the photo.
Yeah,
for the thumbnail.
You're holding the mug now. Me and Smudge are wearing our T-shirts, looking good.
So
Smudge.
So where do we start? Do we start with boxing, or do we start about with some guy getting absolutely rat-assed at the weekend?
Yeah, can we
falling asleep?
Yeah, can we just talk about how it all happened?
It was a long day. It was a very, very busy day.
Okay, so take me through it, Joel, because it was quite nice how I came back into the conversation to see what was happening.
Well, we decided to FaceTime each other.
When the boxing was on.
So we can see each other's reactions and have a nice little chat.
I decided to FaceTime you, pair.
Oh, did you FaceTime us first?
Yeah, and it was probably...
This makes it even worse.
Yeah. Probably a bad decision. I'd just like to have been a very long afternoon.
Yeah.
I would like to thank the landlord and all the Welsh at the Leather Exchange pub in Bermondsey.
Right.
Had a fantastic afternoon watching the rugby. And by the time I got home...
How many pints of Guinness, Smudge?
I should be sponsored by them, put it that way.
Double figures?
Oh, no.
More.
Well, no, you said you had 10 pints of Guinness and 6 vodka Red Bulls.
No, that's a lie.
Yeah, you must have been drunk.
Did you have 6? What? Why?
No.
Did you have more than that or less than that?
A lot less than that.
Did you, hell? There was no way you had less than that. So...
If I'd have had 6 vodka Red Bulls, I wouldn't have fallen asleep.
Oh, that's a fair dues. So, he FaceTimes us.
That's right. And we're all looking at the boxing.
Yep.
And Neil finds out he's about 30 seconds behind on his streaming of how the fight is progressing.
So on Now TV, you're not illegal streams, by the way.
Nope.
Now TV, I'm 30 seconds behind, and you boys are going, oh, look at that. And I'm like, I can't handle this on FaceTime. I'm getting off. I had a nice glass of Sauvignon Blanc in my hand. I was like, I'm not being part of this. So I go away.
Meanwhile, I'm chatting to Smudge for a couple of rounds during the Scott Quigg fight with John OCarroll. And all of a sudden, there's not really a response coming back. So I check my phone, look on it. Someone's laying back on the sofa, hands behind his head, mouth open, snoring.
And I did have a relevant T-shirt on, didn't I? Because it did say, you big dosser.
Yeah, you did. So I'm kind of sitting there watching the boxing, and then your wife drops me a text.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, what's she doing? And it's like, can you go back and join the FaceTime?
Yep.
I'm like, okay, no worries. So I joined in the FaceTime. You're at the top of the FaceTime, pointing down, going, look at this. I'm at the bottom in the little kind of thumbnail in the corner, pointing up, going, what is that about? And you're in the middle, absolutely zonkoed.
Oh, it's a long day.
Well, it wasn't that late, though.
Well, I actually videoed it.
It's a long day when you start at midday.
I recorded it with my wife's phone. So there's me talking, show me watching the TV, and then going over to my phone, which has got you snoring. So I had to turn the volume down on the television just so we could hear Smudge snoring. And I'm trying to wake him up and he wouldn't.
So this is the funny thing that Smudge's wife said she heard us shouting from upstairs in his house because we were going, Smudge, 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 wake up.
So I reckon he went to sleep in probably the 4th round.
I think
of the Quigg Carroll fight?
Yes.
Because I came back in about like the 8th or something, and I was like, so he's been asleep for 4 rounds.
Great company.
Good grief.
There we go. Enough about that. Let's talk about the fight.
So
I did watch it on Sunday morning.
Okay, so from my point of view, I've always been a Scott Quigg fan. His athleticism, his cardio, his determination. He's not I wouldn't say he's the most box office fighter of all time, but he's someone that I've really enjoyed watching. He's somebody that hasn't kind of shied away from everyone. You know, he's fought Frampton. He's come up short most of the time, but I think that's probably to do with injury as well. It's not like he doesn't train. But Saturday night, it just felt a bit...
Well, his work rate is fantastic.
Is that what I've got? Work weight.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got fantastic.
I've had the donuts at work today. But if you look at the way he fights, he's tremendous. His work rate is fantastic. But up against John O'Carroll, he just looked...
Different,
a little bit light on power.
It wasn't different class. It was just... I think he just aged.
Yeah.
He aged
a little bit slower.
Massively
But the way John O'Carroll boxed, I mean, he was so efficient. He was in, he was out, he was rolling out. He was, scoring.
He was good.
Yeah, he just...
But roll back 2 or 3 years.
He wouldn't have done that against a prime Scotland.
Well, even he said afterwards, didn't he, John O'Carroll? He's fighting almost one of his idols. He's watched him growing up. I mean, how...
Because he was sat in the Manchester Arena, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Years ago, watching Quigg fight.
Yeah. I mean, how is that? When you step into the ring with someone you've looked up to for that long as a professional
I guess you just
boxer.
smash him in the face.
Well, obviously, that's what you do because it's what he did.
Yeah.
But he didn't give up, and obviously the towel was thrown in on the 11th round.
Another weekend,
another
towel.
Joe Gallagher, I was watching him in the corner because there was a lot about the commentary team saying, look, this really should be stopped now.
Yeah.
And he was, because Crawler was there. I think Crawler wanted it to go in a lot earlier. Yeah. But Gallagher
he was in the corner with him, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah. And he just wanted to keep it going for as long as possible, which, I'm not Joe Gallagher's biggest fan, but... You probably want to give somebody that opportunity, but he was getting hit all over the ring. All night.
If you're in there, you're the head trainer in that corner. At what point do you turn around and think, actually, I've got to get my boy out there? I mean,
the thing is,
he wasn't winning in rounds, was he?
No,
He'd lost every round.
Yeah.
You've gone past halfway.
Yeah,
he didn't look like he was ever going to knock him out.
But his pedigree and his pride. I mean, let's face it, he probably wouldn't have gone out and finished the 12 rounds and go out and do it that way, rather than throw the towel in.
Yeah, but then you leave him in there longer and he gets hurt.
Yeah, well, we said the same thing about the Wilder Fury one, didn't we? Mm-hmm. I mean, throwing the towel in, you don't know what's going to happen. Another 3 minutes of pressure and taking punches.
That could be it, couldn't it?
Could be it, yeah.
But I think he just aged massively overnight. He looked like he was 20 years older. He was a few steps behind John O'Carroll. And as much as you said that he fought really well, I've just got a feeling, he came up short against Tevin Farmer last time out. I'm not too sure John O'Carroll has got what it takes to go to that next level.
He had a big step up from his previous fights.
Who did?
John O'Carroll.
With Quigg.
Yeah, the way he fought.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can look at the opposition, but I thought he'd really stepped his game up.
I'm not trying to slag him off. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. The other people in that division just, I think, are leagues above him.
Yeah, well, he's done the right thing now. He's
on the ascendance. He can only grow as a fighter, can't he?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But he's had a great career, fantastic role model.
Quigg has,
and he's gone out again. Another one we can say he's gone out healthy and everything all intact. So that's all you want, really. And
there's some brilliant videos from IFL afterwards of Quigg and Eddie Hearn in the changing rooms, and he was laughing. He kind of knew. I think he knew. Quigg did. He was pissed off. He wanted to stay until the 12th round, but he kind of thought, I kind of knew. To be honest, I saw a video with Callum Smith a couple of days after, and Callum said that 30 seconds into the first round of that fight, he knew that Quigg wasn't going to be able to do it.
Really?
But that's what he was waiting for, because like Callum was saying that he didn't want to make a prediction before the fight. He wanted to see very early on where Quigg was as a fighter, and it turned out that 30 seconds into it, they could kind of see that he was too many steps
It was
behind.
actually amazing how many fighters were there to watch him.
Yeah, but he's
loads ringside, weren't there?
Well, we mentioned, didn't we, about there was tickets still available, but
was there?
Yeah, well, that was what the talk was before the fight. But when you saw the event on TV, it looked
That
packed.
could be some people outside giving away some free tickets.
Either way, the atmosphere.
If so,
looked great,
why weren't we there? So on the same night, other fights that you want to highlight? Zach Parker had a good fight.
Didn't see that one.
Yes, you did. You
did. Even I
yes,
saw
Oh, I
that
did.
one.
That was the
Yes, you
first
did.
one I came in on.
first
Sorry,
fight.
yeah.
That was a good fight.
That was a good fight, yeah, because me and you were saying to each other, this doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
and then
all
of a sudden,
Yeah.
bish bash bosh, Zach Parker's,
Knocked him.
yeah, exactly. Looks like a good fighter. Billy Joe Saunders is tied up. We're going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
So Zach can't, go for him, but looks like a pretty decent prospect.
I think
Why is your face like that?
Well, because I think I was telling you at the time, neither really were imposing themselves in the fight, and I just think probably they've got a few more fights to go before they could be considered a decent prospect. I mean, don't get me wrong, decent prospect. They've got to where they have, but I think for a big fight, they need probably another 3 or 4 fights.
Okay, sensible
to see, because obviously when you go up in class, you deal with different things, and I think that was fairly evenly matched.
Okay, I mean, was it a good card? Did you enjoy the card on Saturday night? It was all right. It was all right, wasn't it?
It was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no booze for Eddie Hearn?
No.
Yeah. Is there any other fights on that card that we want to talk about?
Yeah, no, I was just looking just to see what was on that night. I mean, obviously, Anthony Fowler fought, didn't he?
Oh, of course he did, with slippery shoes.
Exactly. Tape on his shoes, more like a dancing on ice contender.
Look, Smudge is looking at us going, what are you talking
I
about?
might have been asleep.
You were asleep. So he was fighting Tete.
That's right, who replaced Jack Flatley.
He did, yeah. And Tete's not, like, in his time, not a bad fighter. Fought some people on these shores, little bit over the hill now. You could definitely see that. Still pretty in good shape. Yeah. But what was going on?
I've no clue. Maybe he's looking at the legwork of Deontay Wilder the other night, because he just did not look stable on his feet.
It was weird.
Yeah. They were blaming the tape underneath his shoes, but every time he was moving around, the footwork was terrible. Every time he was moving, he was slipping.
But the shoes were terrible.
God.
They were terrible. They were worse than Dave Allen's Caramores.
It's like wearing bowling shoes when you go 10-pin bowling.
But it was.
Absolutely just...
It was all over. It was like Bambi on ice.
Yeah.
I think someone said that in the commentary team. Yeah. But it was... You need to watch that back, Smudge. Because it is hilarious.
The problem is, Fowler needed... He needed a fight, didn't he? And to come out there and to get his...
Well, if he's going to fight Fitzy next or the fight after, that wasn't a good warm-up fight to have.
No, it's not. So what's he going to do? Get another fight in between?
Yeah, it's got to, isn't he? He's got to. He can't just go straight into someone like Fitz. So that rounds off that card, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Overnight, though, quite some interesting fights going on, including one that has shocked the heavyweight division, why are you smiling?
I've been reading all the little things on the social media, what they're calling the fight. The Doorman versus the Waterbed.
Is that
For one, I mean, obviously you watched it.
This is Helanius, yeah?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Rob
the
Helanius,
Nordic warrior.
From against Kawanaki. He just bashed him around, and he did finish him off well, but it was a bit of a...
Well, I noticed on the weigh-in day that Kawanaki didn't look right. I looked at it, I was like, because I haven't seen much of Kawanaki fight, but I've heard a load of people saying, he's a Polish, Brooklyn, New Yorker beast, knocks a lot of people out. And I was thinking, okay, well, I've seen a couple of fights, but not really taken that much notice. So made sure I watched all the weigh-in stuff. And I was like, he looks in terrible shape. Like, what is going on? And then Helanius, I mean, how old's Helanius?
I've not got a clue.
I think he's 39 years old. Yeah. Looks a little bit older than that. Don't get me wrong. A great European champion in his time. Derek Chisora should have got the nod when he fought him, but he was definitely one of those people that was a gatekeeper of the heavyweight division in Europe. There was no way that anybody was giving him any chance to beat Kawanaki. No. Inside the top 10 in the WBA, one of those two anyway. Or was it? No, because it's definitely this person could be fighting Anthony Joshua. Is it IBF? Don't know.
Do you know what? I have not got a clue
but whatever it was, it's turned out to be just like a saving grace for Robert Helanius. So he's won this. He's knocked out Adam Kawanaki, who, by the way, afterwards basically went, "I'm a little bit upset, but." Yeah, I got badly done. Yeah. So he was like pretty honest about it. But this Helanius is now going to be one step away, a bit of a wait. So he might be like 41 by the time, but one step away from going for a bout which Anthony Joshua could vacate, or he could fight Joshua.
There's a lot of heavyweights out there in sort of a stone's throw of their chance to have a crack at someone.
It's mad.
It's ridiculous. I mean, you've got someone
the
like...
The division is crazy at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, we talk about fighters out there that are top rank like Dillian Whyte, and they're not getting their chance.
Yeah.
So this is just another proof in the pudding like we spoke about last week with Usyk. These guys, they've only probably a couple of fights. We joked about Dave Allen before. You look at David Price. They could have a run of 2 or 3 fights, and they could be there.
Maybe not David Price.
No, but I'm talking at the time.
Definitely Dave Allen. Couple more plumbers.
Always.
He's bang up for it.
Actually, we didn't mention one from the same card. Was the Hughie Fury fight?
Oh,
Pavel Sau.
How did we forget about Fury?
Fury, yeah.
So that one was. I didn't think. I'm watching Hughie Fury over his fights. He's been with some good opposition, but he's also lost to them. So this is a chance for him to come out against the lower opposition and try and shine, try and show what he can do.
And did he?
I think so. I think as much as he could do. I mean, you want to see a bit more movement from him. You want to see him probably watching his cousin go in and throw more punches. I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
I think he was throwing. I think he looked like he wanted to try and stop him, which obviously he did. And I just think he was trying to be aggressive, trying to get that sort of eye-catching knockout.
Is that really a marker of where Hughie is?
Well, but he's fought some big names.
I know, at 25 years old.
So, yeah, how many times has that been mentioned? 25. But that's quite young. I mean, he has been through the mill with a few fighters. But, okay, from here, where does he go?
I don't know. Will we put a poll up this week at Boxcast Pod, which we've changed the name of our Twitter to @BoxcastPod. And we were looking at him as a potential...
Well, we said, as the Daniel Dubois and the Joe Joyce winner.
Yeah, as a potential opponent to them.
As an idea, who could they fight, the winner of that? Yeah.
I mean, that's been an interesting poll this week. Derek Chisora and... Was it Hughie or was it somebody else?
We've had I was going to say Hughie Fury at the top of it, I think. We've had Joseph Parker.
Yeah, Joseph Parker came up.
Yeah, Dillian Whyte and Derek Chisora.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting one with Hughie. I think he's never going to fight Tyson, is he? They wouldn't put family together.
But I think obviously if you're looking at out of those 4 that we put on the poll, who would you rank the next step up?
I think it should be Derek.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the next step up. I think Joseph Parker and Dillian Whyte may be one step too much at this stage.
Well, that's why I think Hughie would be a good option.
No votes for Hughie.
Yeah, exactly. See, checking out the poll there.
But he's trying to establish himself. What better way would it be to fight the winner of Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois?
Yeah. Unless he knows that they can do him.
Well, you've got to face these people sometime. Derek Chisora, he's fighting Usyk next, so that'll be fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's do our competition now to give away a Boxcast mug. Ooh! What's a Boxcast mug? Not a hotspot. It's no. This doesn't work.
We need to find a catchy little thing for that. Don't we?
Ding ding.
Oh, ding ding. Should we do ding ding? There we go.
Competition time.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Yeah, we need to work on that a little bit. So if you're listening, thank you so much. We'd like to give away a Boxcast mug, which has a lovely picture of us. It's made out of fantastic ceramic from where?
Vistaprint, probably.
It's modelled fantastically well in the picture that we've taken this week as well. So if you would like to win this, here's the question. Who did Joe Calzaghe fight and beat and throw over 1,000 punches?
Oh,
I remember staying up late at night to watch this fight. It was on ITV. It was amazing. All my family, who were all around the country, were massive fans of Joe, and they were all watching it at the same time as me. So that's the answer we're looking for. Look at you both staying quiet. This is the quietest you've ever been.
trying to give away the answer.
Yeah, I know. So if you know the answer, what we need you to do is leave a review, a 5-star review, and in the review on Apple Podcasts, just put the answer to the question and tell us about yourself and tell us what you like or dislike about the pod in there. So just a review with the answer to who Joe Calzaghe beat by throwing over 1,000 punches back on an ITV show back in the day. Easy as that. Cool. Okay, so a little bit of Fury and Wilder stuff. Looks like it's going to be going on, and it looks like
it.
that 2 out of 3 people that we know in this room may be going over to Vegas in June to...
Well, I don't know why you're going in June.
July,
I'm going in July.
July the 18th, to watch the fight and maybe just, soak up some of the atmosphere. So let's go around the room to find out who might be going to Vegas. Hit that music. Here we go. There's the music. Lovely. Okay. Is it Smudge?
Yes.
Fantastic. Excellent. Oh, that's going to be good. Okay, why don't you go around the room now, Smudge, and find out who might be going to Vegas?
To my... In front of me. Is it Neil?
Do you know what it is? This is brilliant. Okay. All right, who's going to go for the other person?
I'll let you do it.
Okay, great. Let's go around the room. Joel, is it going to be you?
Well, you know the answer to this already without picking on me.
Go.
This is like bullying in the workplace. I've already booked a summer holiday then, even though I actually haven't booked a summer holiday, with my wife and 2 daughters to go away.
Listen, what's more important to you, your family or us?
I can't believe he hesitated.
Depends who's listening. I would love to.
Fantastic. So we lock that one in? Let's lock it in. Excellent. So all 3 of us now are going to be going to Vegas. So what we're looking for is we're looking for a sponsor for that trip as well. So if you are listening right now going, do you know what? I think I'd like the Boxcast boys to make a hell of a load of brilliant content and put my name and my company all over it for a very reasonable price to take them to Vegas. Get in touch with us.
Get in touch early as well, because the tickets are cheap at the moment.
Are they right? And the flights. Yeah. The flights are really cheap. No one's going anywhere. It's brilliant. Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. So we know that George Foreman has come out saying that he wants to train Deontay Wilder. Why are you smiling about that? Do you think that will make any difference whatsoever?
I think it's just sound bites. It's a nice gesture, but I don't think that would happen.
So there's some other bits, including Fury's gloves, which have come under...
Glovegate.
Yeah, so explain to me. Now, you both lace up some gloves on a Monday night. Joel more successful than Smudge.
Mine are Velcro now.
Just take me through. After you've seen this video,
yep.
Do you think, A, it's real? Because it's been debunked by loads of people, including Mayweather. And if it is or isn't real, what's going on in the video footage?
I think he's got really flappy wrists. To be true, that's my take on it anyway. I think when you actually tape up the hands, we joke about it, me and Smudge. I know when we do our little pad work, he does his own Fury flick.
I do have the Fury flick.
Have you got flappy wrists?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't punch very hard. But sorry, Smudge, don't start swinging
Pillow
near me
fists.
now. Pillow fists. No, but when you look at it, the hands are all taped up. The gloves get put on. They get checked. So at what point during the fight do you think that his corner men are going to start pulling his gloves away from his fists so he can actually clench his fists and throw punches? He's obviously a very, very tall man, long wrist, long reach. It's just the way he's flicking his wrist around. I was more concerned with the palming. We spoke about that. Yeah. When he puts his hands out to set up the punches, he's literally face planting the opposition.
Putting the front of the glove.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Can't do that. Almost like laces going up the face. But I think he's just naturally he's got long limbs, and I just think that the gloves were looking like that. I don't think he wouldn't move his fists inside them, not at all.
Okay, and if he did, if the knuckles were down further, wouldn't you be at risk of hurting those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be seen as well. The referee would see that. Come on.
Do you think Wilder would have said something if he thought the punches were coming in that much harder? I mean, they've said about Wilder, they're now saying he was pounding the walls with his gloves to try and see if he could make them that much harder. I mean, it's just nonsense coming out.
Okay, so Billy Joe Saunders looks like he's got the Canelo fight May 2nd on DAZN.
Yeah. DAZN.
If you're listening to this going, oh my God, he pronounced that incorrectly, go back to the last episode of Boxcast.
Yes.
All will be revealed.
Yes.
I think they should change the name.
Yeah, DAZN. We're going to get some DAZN t-shirts.
I know it's DAZN. I had to think about it then.
Close.
God.
But that looks like it's going to be done, and we feel like it's going to be done within the next week. It's going to be released. I'm really happy for Billy Joe on this. I'm not that concerned with Callum Smith. I think they probably thought that Callum Smith would be more difficult, bigger, maybe more powerful, potentially would hit harder. But I think they're going to find it difficult with Billy Joe's style. Would you agree? We've talked about this a lot in the last podcast, but this is now becoming a real thing.
It's going to happen.
I think he has to be on his A game for all the rounds, Billy Joe.
Yeah, he can't turn off
I
at all.
don't think he can.
Yeah.
No. And he's got everything in his toolbox to deal with it. It's just bringing it all together.
Cool. I'm looking forward to DAZN launching. It's going to be a good channel.
Yeah, it should be. I wonder when it'll just be the launch on that night, won't it? May the 2nd, I suppose.
Yeah, I think, that is going to be the
launch. A little
launch.
bit of preview content maybe from them, or just straight in,
bit of YouTube stuff.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
It's good. Hope so.
So, what have you got on your iPad there? Some odds or some
Just looking at the Billy Joe fight.
I thought you were looking at hotels for Vegas.
Yeah,
That's on the other page. Yeah. Well, you can really still get a good deal in
yeah.
the MGM.
We looked at the weekend. We can get into the Win. We can get into the MGM. We can get into, and Smudge wants to stay at the MGM Grand because it looks like it's going to be at the MGM Grand according to Bob Arum, the next Fury Wilder fight. Even though we thought it was going to be in that 65,000
the new Raiders stadium.
Yeah, the new stadium. Yeah. So there's loads of deals to be had, isn't there, Smudge?
Yeah. There's loads of deals. You should get in on it, Joel.
Yeah, you should definitely.
But no, just looking at the betting for the Billy Joe fight. Let's hope it's on. The most popular bet is still on Billy Joe to win. Get 4-1.
4-1
at the moment. Yeah, Alvarez is massive odds on favourite. 5-1 on.
Cool.
So there we go. That's as it stands now.
So going back to your Vegas hotels,
Yeah.
because Smudge does like to see himself as a bit of a Danny Ocean on the quiet, a bit of a
Who?
Danny Ocean. Come on, George Clooney.
Was it Daddy Ocean? Who's he?
If anyone's seen the pictures,
Billy Ocean.
yeah, he's more like Billy Ocean. So I think he wants to go out there and start dressing up.
Why not?
Yeah.
So that's about it from Boxcast this week. Any other fights that we want to just quickly talk about?
We've got Lee Selby fighting George Kambosos, if I've pronounced that right, for the IBF lightweight eliminator.
Do you know what I've worked out, Smudge?
Go on.
Any difficult words should always go
Ask
to
me.
Joel.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we'll find out their nickname and
Yeah.
just call them.
While I'm doing this, you can just Google how to say it properly.
Yeah. He's not going to, though. Why would he do that?
George is his first name. I call
Exactly.
him George.
Let's
Lee
call him
Selby's
George.
fighting George.
Australian,
George.
isn't he? Australian fella,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yep, he is.
Campbell looks like he's got a nice one coming up as well.
Yep, Luke Campbell's going to fight. Javier, come on, tell me I'm pronouncing it
this
wrong.
is good. Keep going.
Fortuna.
Fortuna. Brian
Yeah,
Fortuna.
So the vacant, so that's going for the vacant WC lightweight title as well.
Fantastic. A couple of good fights.
Josh Kelly's fighting on the 28th.
Yeah, it looks really good.
So that's looking good at welterweight. Luke Campbell's fight was the 17th, by the way, of April.
Yeah.
Josh Kelly's is the 28th of March. So I think, Smudge, are you looking up the odds, Smudge, as we're chatting on these fights?
No,
He's still looking. He's
I'm
still looking at
looking
hotels.
I'm
Sorry,
looking
mate,
up
you just
nicknames for you
Are you just
to
doing
make your life easier.
just doing your emails there?
Yeah, no, thanks. So there's some good fights coming
Cool.
up in the next couple of months.
We should start focusing over the next couple of weeks on Dubois and Joyce.
Yep.
We'll try and break those down. We're going to put some YouTube content up as well of our favourite 5 boxers each, maybe the 5 best fights we've ever seen, and we're going to do some little profile bits as well. So wherever you get our content, make sure you also check YouTube out as well. You can find that at Boxcast on there. Right, well, that's it, boys. Any other news?
Don't forget to enter the competition.
Exactly, yeah, the competition again. The question was, Joe Calzaghe beat somebody. Who was that somebody? By throwing over 1,000 punches. Back in the day, this person was going to be the next big hope, the next Mike Tyson of that weight. And Joe Calzaghe did a job on him. It was on ITV back in the day. We just need the name of that person left with a 5-star review, please, on Apple Podcasts. You can do that really easily. So that's it. We'll find out who wins that Boxcast mug from our new merch packs next week.
Happy days.
Happy days.
Until next time.
Nice.